From the south side of the Great Salt Lake and just west of the Wasatch Mountain Range, it's Miller Motorsports Park. And today's motorsport, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, coming your way next on NBCSN.
Motos into the 2015 season, and just 2 points separate title contenders Jeremy Martin and Marvin Musquin.
Look at this.
Musquin had to get it done here at Washougal in the mud, and he does. Welcome back to Victory Lane, Cooper Webb.
With race winners Cooper Webb and Joey Savacci playing the role of spoilers, anything is possible as the 250 championship battle comes to a boiling point.
He's on the outside. Musquin takes him all the way to the side of the track. Oh,
and now they're good running for it.
Oh, mistake by Savacci. Here comes Martin. Can he take advantage? Oh, Musquin.
In the 450 class, Ryan Dungey prepares for a victory lap as he celebrates the third 450 motocross title of his career.
And there it is. Ryan Dungey clinches the 2015 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
Round 11 from Miller Motorsports Park is just moments away. This is Moto.
Well, it's time to talk championships because we've reached the next to last round of the 2015 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, Miller Motorsports Park, the host of the Zions Bank Utah National. Hello everyone, Jason Wygant live here on NBCSN, joined by Grant Langston. This is going to be a wild scenario. Ryan Dungey has just wrapped up in our first moto earlier today, the first 450 championship. It's had it a couple years. He won it in 2010, 2012, a successful championship comeback for him. So congratulations to Ryan Dungey. He'll be back in about an hour for our second 450 moto to try to win today's race overall. But in the 250 class, man, there is so much on the line. Marvin Musquin and Jeremy Martin have been swapping the points lead practically with every week. What's in store for our final moto today, Grant?
Nothing but the best, I think, Jason. I mean, the racing in the 250 class has been phenomenal, and we keep saying starts are important. In the first moto, Jeremy Martin did not get the start he needed, went down, but what an incredible comeback from basically almost dead last to get on the podium. Little gift in the last corner from Hampshire, but wow, what a comeback. But it gave Musquin the points lead, a little bit of confidence. This is really tight. I'm so excited for these final three motos coming up.
So two things to show. We got the coronation day for Dungey in the 450 class and a fantastic 250 battle. That's the 411 of motocross. Two classes, two different engine sizes. They raced the first moto earlier today. We'll have 250s followed by 450s coming up now to determine today's overall winners here at Miller Motorsports Park. 250s will race first, so we'll show you their highlights from the first moto from a little over an hour ago. And the carnage of the first turn is what you want to watch. Joey Savacci goes down on the 37. The left side of your screen, you see the number 1. That's your champion and points leader, Jeremy Martin. So he is about last. Was up to 30th place in the first lap. Worked his way into 20th. Worked his way into 10th. We thought he'd be hard-pressed to get into the top 5. Meanwhile, Marvin Musquin, who's battling him for the title, trying to take advantage.
Musquin did not get the greatest of starts, but man, he cut through the field. He knew maximum points was critical. You got to make hay while the sun shines. There you see him getting around Hampshire for the lead. Cooper Webb tries to make the battle. This was the battle for the lead. So teammates to Martin. Webb could be interference, but he goes down. Musquin, very happy to see that, not having the pressure, but for Webb, able to get back up, get second.
Yeah, but couldn't take the points away from Musquin like his Yamaha team would have liked. Now you have Martin, 10th, 9th, 8th, 6th. Now he's up to 5th. He'll inherit 4th after a huge crash. Luckily, Jesse Nelson able to get up okay after that one. And it appeared that was as far as Martin would be able to go. 4th. Musquin's going to cruise to the moto win after that crash for Webb and retake the points lead. He was down by 2 coming into this one. But a little bit of a gift. Almost literally, this is the last turn of the race. You'll see a rider is down. That's RJ Hampshire in 3rd. Martin takes the spot away from him, picks up 2 additional points because of that last turn crash by the rookie. And there are your 250 Moto 1 results. Webb splitting your title contenders, Musquin and Martin. Plessinger and Savacci, who was also down early, inside the top 5. All right, Georgia Lindsay, there's championship tension down at the line. Let's send it to her. It's the GoPro starting gate.
Marvin Muscan, congratulations on the first moto. There was a lot of pressure from Cooper Webb. Obviously, that's kind of nerve-wracking knowing the relationship between you both, but you seem to be holding your composure and you're ready for the second moto.
I know. I mean, I don't know where Jeremy was, but, you know, anyway, to get 25 points off right away was good, and we got a second moto, so it's going to be good.
Let you get on. Good luck. Best of luck. Thank you, Marvin.
Well, that's it. Martin versus Marvin with everything on the line. Keep watching at NBCSN. Time to go racing here. The second 250 Moto. Very close championship fight here at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross in the 250 class. A little over 4 minutes before we drop the gate. We'll give some credit to Zach Osborne on the number 16, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He was the rider that passed the most riders at our last race at Unadilla, and for that he wins the Deltran Battery Tender Ricky Carmichael Hard Charger Award. Here's the Kawasaki track map. Miller Motorsports Park, 3 years in the making here, having a motocross track and set up on the infield of a road race facility.
Well, they made some changes from last year, and the riders seem to like it. Up the hill, double left, over the motorsport.com. First jump, where hopefully you'll get the whole shot, cross it first. Then you want to cross that one first on the last lap, the Lucas Oil finish line jump. Jump into these downhill rollers, make a 180 sweeping left, past the Fran Mechanics area, a little rhythm section here over the Fly Racing rhythm section. Make sure you keep up your speed, decent size step up tabletop, the Bud Light jump, through some switchbacks, back into the rollers, heading towards the back part of the track. And then this next left-right is actually a split lane. They have hay bales down the middle, so it's pick your line. You're inside on one, outside on the other. Everything you've got to get up this massive triple step-up tabletop, the Red Bull jump in the back, about 140 feet, but a lot of elevation and airtime. Make 2 more lefts and come over that Lucas Oil jump. Then this long kind of sweeping right-hander. You can see the road race track right next to it. They kind of follow that track line. Then a sweeping left here. This section they're coming up to a little bit different in the track map. Got this little double, and then just a big step up. Make a right over the tabletop, and that here is a lap at Miller Motorsport Park.
And we actually already had laps completed earlier. Show you the fast qualifier. First we had racing, of course, in practice, and Jeremy Martin logged the fastest qualifying time, so he collects the Bud Light fastest qualifier award. He was actually out front in both of the practice sessions we had, so a good...
By a long shot, too. He looked dominant.
It did, and then the first moto, though, he had trouble out the start and only ended up third. Here's a GoPro track preview. This is from earlier, your first moto, over an hour ago. Jesse Nelson going to get a good start here. Lucas Oil, Troy Lee, KTM.
Yeah, Nelson looks like he has the whole shot. Runs just a tad wide. You see what happens. Guys gas it up the inside. Still just beaten out by Jordan Smith, but a great start for Jesse Nelson. Listen to these 250 machines at altitude, giving it, I mean, just really just revving these things to the moon, trying to get every ounce of horsepower. Because you got to imagine, with all this elevation, these guys are going to be complaining, my bike's slow.
Now, we actually started our second moto, and then we had a rider, Tevin Tapia, down on the track, and he was knocked out, so it was unsafe condition to have riders go by him. So here's your restart procedure. They throw the red flag, and the race restarts at riders in their original starting positions. In motocross terms, that means back behind the starting gate, they'll pick the same gates they had before. And if the race is stopped after 2 laps, riders are staged based on their position the prior lap. But this is a full restart because we didn't quite get to the end of the second lap. We basically did 1 official lap. So Tevin Tapia, the good news was he was able to get up and walk away under his own power. I don't believe he'll be getting back into the race. Now, when we red flagged it, Jeremy Martin had maneuvered himself into the lead. So it seemed like the champ had put himself right where he needed to be. And then the red flag comes out before they complete 2 laps. He has to go back to the line and try to do it again. Mentally, this is going to be so hard on these guys to re-rack it. Here's your KTM keys to the Moto Grand.
Well, good start. We've said it today. It's proved in the results, and then avoiding first lap crashes or starting pileups, racing at altitude, especially with this restart. Get your body temperature down. Get your breathing down. You know, calm yourself down. Get the bike down. You know, you got to make some adjustments up at this. And of course, at the top, right now, because we're going for a second restart, Marvin Musquin gets a second chance.
He was like 6th, 7th when the red flag came out, so he had a lot of work to do to catch up to Martin. Now he gets the chance to do it again. The Fly Racing 30-second card is up for the second time in our second moto.
There you saw Josh Hayes multi-time Superbike champion in the background, cheering on his buddy Jake Gagne.
We'll see him in the 450 class a little later today. Here it is, again, the second moto of the 250 from Utah.
Yeah, you see a couple open gates from riders not able to restart.
And Musquin, is he going to hold it?
He had
Yes.
his second chance and he took it.
Unbelievable. That is a huge swing. So now Marvin Musquin, Red Bull KTM to the lead with your motosport.com hole shot. That's one of the Geico Honda riders right behind him. That's Christian Craig in the 68. And then it's the 17 of Cooper Webb. But where is Martin? Martin is about 6th.
Yeah, so you feel a little bit bad for Martin, didn't quite get that start, but this is racing. It's the same for everyone. If you can do it once, you got to do it again. But it's good to see Martin up there. You would have felt really bad for him if he was down in the first turn. You'd be like, oh, wow, that's just not your day.
All right, so Webb on the 17. That's Martin's teammate trying to get Craig for second and keep Musquin in his sights. A big jump here. It landed hard because there isn't a landing area for it.
Split lane.
Let's see if Webb can get Craig in the split. No, that outside line worked well for Craig to hold on to second. Low jumping there from Webb, and it actually paid off. He decided not to even try to jump that.
That was crazy. I think what happened was Craig tried so hard that he went so far up in the air, basically pulling up, and he just kind of tagged it a little bit, which I think robbed his speed. Cooper Webb scrubbed, stayed low, and we've always said the only way you can go fast is once you got the wheels on the ground. Airtime looks good, but these guys are trying to do the jumps with as minimal airtime, and Webb triples through there. Wow. We haven't seen anyone do that. Straight to the lead, Cooper Webb. He has come to win today. Great first moto, ended up second. Silly little tip over, and he's battling with his long-lost buddy, Marvin Musquin. These two do not like each other very much. And Cooper Webb just makes short work of Musquin, and Jeremy Martin's got to be going, yes, keep that up.
Well, Martin's got a wall of Geico Honda riders to get through. He's got to get through Bisceglia and Craig. They're the ones blocking him from battling it out with Musquin as Webb tries to get away. Musquin on the 25 is second. Here's Martin on the number 1. Got to get the 68 of Craig.
And Bisceglia. He's got to get past both those Geico Honda riders because, as you can see, he can see the leader, which is his teammate, and he can see his rival that he has to beat. This is that point in the season. No matter what, he's zoomed in on that 25 if you're the number 1. Like, you're looking at that. That's all you care about is make sure you put this guy in your mirrors.
He's got a Honda in each lane. Craig on the 68 on his right, and up ahead of him with the white chest protector is Bisceglia. Hard to make passes when you got to get 2 guys, and they're wheel to wheel. Now he can attack Craig all by himself. Martin trying to make it happen.
Craig takes that line away, protecting the main line there.
Hey, no harm, no foul. That's just racing. They don't have to move over just because you're the championship fight. So they're going to fight for every position. And while they are, it's allowing Musquin and Webb to start to slip away. Behind Martin, you have Osborne, McElrath, Plessinger, Hampshire, and Alex Martin.
It's still tight, though, in the top 5. No big gaps. I mean, it's obviously only a couple minutes in. But for Martin, he can't afford to be battling with these Geico Honda riders for too long because that will start separating the front 2.
Here he is down to the inside. It's the same area where Webb made a pass, but he did not triple through the middle. So unlike Webb, he can't make the move.
And Craig's riding great. Let's not take anything away from him. We're just more saying, you know, Jeremy Martin needs to make the pass. And believe me, he wants to, and he would have if he could have by now, but Craig has not really made a mistake. And his speed is pretty good, but he leaves the door open here. And, yep.
Got him.
Made it happen. Craig didn't put up a huge fight there.
But yeah, once he got to a bad position, he kind of handed it over.
Well, at this early in the race, you don't want to be riding on the defense, just trying to block a guy, because then he'll lose tabs with the leaders, and eventually, when the number 1 does get by, he's going to be so frustrated he might move Craig out of the way. So Craig didn't fight it, but now that Jeremy Martin's got by, he's trying to hang on with him and probably will lose something. I mean, learn something.
This is Cooper Webb taking the lead from Musquin.
Why is Musquin looking over his shoulder? Like, I don't understand, Marvin. Look forward. Like, right there when he saw Webb, I felt like he almost, I don't know, surrendered it. He didn't give up, but he's looking over his shoulder like, who's behind me? Don't worry about it. Look forward.
Well, we've had a lot of talk about Webb and Musquin. 2 races ago at Washougal, Webb was very outspoken at the podium, saying that he thought that Musquin was cutting him off. and then he said that he did it again at our last race at Unadilla, and then he said he did it again in our first moto earlier today. And Musquin knows that Webb is angry and knows that Webb has nothing to lose. So maybe Musquin just said, I don't want to have to race this kid, but again, every point counts. You got to go for the moto win. He did it in the first moto. He managed to hold Webb off.
He may not want to, race Webb, but if he wants to win a title, he better get around him, because that's going to help his chances that much more. Yes, he does have the points lead now.
He's still close as well as we shift back to third. Bisceglia putting in, I'd say, his best early return on a moto this year, trying to hold Martin back. So Bisceglia on the Geico Honda, 38. He is the spoiler right now. He's the buffer between Martin getting in the battle for the lead and being out of it.
Bisceglia had a solid, good first moto. I think he hovered right around the 5th place towards the end there. After we saw...
it was 6th in the end, absolutely. He was good.
After we saw Hampshire
giving him... Martin around the outside. There was no room, and he made it happen anyway.
I think Martin had to tuck his elbow in just so they didn't rub when they went past. But, wow, not a lot of real estate there, but I guess all you need is 18 inches. You can make it happen. Pulls the tear off. He is in attack mode. Now this is where it gets exciting, because guess who's next?
Yeah, Musquin will be the next rider up ahead, but there are 4 seconds between them. So Martin's going to have to dig down and at least catch Musquin first. But Musquin is dealing with Cooper Webb, so Musquin isn't able to just run away with it. He's got to deal with the rider right in front of him. Wow. So much has already transpired today, including a huge crash back here. Check out the 232 going for a ride. This jump has caught several riders today.
Lucky that bike didn't tackle him.
He got up okay. August 23rd, the break is over and F1 returns to NBCSN. We're going to head to Belgium for the season's longest track. Who will endure it and take the checkered flag? The Formula One Belgian Grand Prix live Sunday, August 23rd on NBCSN. Hey, Red Bull Straight Rhythm coming up in October. Ryan Dungey's going to be there for the first time. James Stewart will be racing to defend his win from last year. Stewart, by the way, his suspension for the World Anti-Doping Agency is complete, so Stewart is eligible to race again. I don't think he's coming back for one of these nationals. He's going to prep for Supercross next year. Straight Rhythm, Monster Energy Cup in October, and then we'll see him racing in Anaheim in January.
And so, by suspension, you don't mean the show of forks underneath his motorcycle?
No, not the suspension on the bike. He was suspended from racing, but that is finally over. So glad to see James Stewart will be back racing shortly. As we can switch back to the 250 class here on NBCSN, you've got Marvin Musquin on the number 25. He is your series points leader. He's second in this race, behind Cooper Webb. And the rider in third in this race is Jeremy Martin, who is 3 points behind Musquin in the championship fight. Coming into the event, Martin had a 2-point lead, but Musquin gained 5 in the first moto. Yeah, so
that's the difference between first and third. Musquin winning, Martin third. So like you said, it gives him a 3-point lead. And the way it sits now, it'd be a 5-point lead. But Martin knows if he gets around him, they go to the last round, 1 point separating them. I mean, this is like, I think Steven Spielberg would be pumped on this one.
Well, let's give you the lap times. Last time around, Webb and Musquin 156 laps and a 155 for J-Mart, who is in third. So we could have a 3-rider fight for the lead, and 2 of those 3 riders could be title contenders, and the other one is Cooper Webb, who is truly the ultimate spoiler. He's out there to win for himself. If he wins this moto, he wins the overall here in Utah, and that would be 3 out of the last 4 overall wins for Webb. So he's not pulling over, moving over for anybody.
Which brings up that topic of
team tactics.
Imagine if he didn't get hurt.
Oh, sorry.
I was thinking from
topic.
that early.
Yeah.
3 of the last 4 races, he's beaten the 2 title contenders. So you bring back in like, what could have been, or...
Yep.
And you know, we always say,
an ankle injury. Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know, that's racing. And to win, you have to be in the event.
That's the bottom line. You got to make all the rounds. Let's give you the motorsport.com whole shot replay. Musquin, bad start the first time we did this. They red flagged it, they restarted it, much better this time.
Well, our third key to the moto was second chance for Marvin Musquin, and he said, I will take that, thank you very much, if you're going to give me a second chance. And boom, right there. That just happened. Oh, actually, that was...
Oh, that was the first start.
That was the first start. This is the second one. Because you saw Martin coming around But here you see Marvin Musquin gets that whole shot. Took that second opportunity. Yay!
Hey, I mean, that is a part of every form of racing, the luck of flags coming out when other riders or drivers have trouble at different times. It's out of your hands.
Well,
that's racing.
What's different with motocross is even if you're the fastest in qualifying, you all line up at the same gate. Yeah, you get a better gate selection towards the inside, wherever it may be. But you look at Formula One, we just talked about the promo. You talk MotoGP, you talk Superbike, whatever.
Oh, Webb gets held up by a lap rider, and this could allow Musquin to get him. Musquin's going to leap into the lead. Can he make it stick? No, Webb's going to hold him back off.
Wow, that almost came out of nowhere, and I think Webb was even surprised.
Yes.
I think that lap had just, was slowing down, not to interfere, but the problem is when you slow down and you're in the premier racing line, it's like, come on, man. He's just got to be in the way.
And now Musquin, he was aggressive for about 4 corners there, but couldn't get Webb. So now he's got to go back to work on the kid. Webb is a 19-year-old. Musquin is 25. He has been through the ups and downs, 2 titles in his native Europe in the World Motocross Grand Prix Series. Lots of injuries, transitioning to race in the U.S. He's been healthy all year this year. He and Webb split the East and West Supercross Championships for 250s. But Jeremy Martin wants to beat him here outdoors, and Martin on the number 1 is closing in, yeah,
he is. So just to finish my point about what I was saying earlier, in motocross, everyone lines up side by side. It's not a grid where guys are 4 or 5 rows behind you, so if you don't get the jump, you might lose a couple spots. Yeah, if you don't get the jump, you could arrive in the first turn and basically shuffle to the back and be in close to 40th. So that's the tough part. That's why starts are so important in this sport, especially with so many fast and talented riders.
The finish is going to be the more spectacular to the start, though, in this one, because here comes Jeremy Martin. He has closed on Musquin. But remember, a lap ago, Musquin was challenging Cooper Webb for the lead. Stay with us. Unbelievable racing here at Utah. Championship contenders are wheel to wheel for second place. The number 1 is Jeremy Martin trying to overhaul Marvin Musquin for the lead.
And he does.
He does it. That's not, sorry, not the lead in the race, but that could make all the difference in the championship as he takes second away. And just before we came back, Musquin made a little mistake, and that is what allowed Martin to get him. And by the way, we are already halfway through this moto. I'll remind you, in 15 minutes, yeah, you can save 15% or more on your insurance. And also in 15 minutes, this checkered flag is coming out. Marvin Musquin is going to have to go into the well. He's going to have to find something special. He cannot let Jeremy Martin get away.
He cannot, but he has. I mean, Martin's just put the hammer down. And Cooper Webb has a look over. He knows who it is. Let's see. I don't think you're going to see Cooper Webb fight Martin like he would. Oh,
no, look at that. He gave it to him. He gave the lead to his teammate. And we were wondering, and I thought this would not happen, especially in the next to last round. We were wondering if Webb would be the team player. That was as obvious as it comes. So he just gave Martin the lead, and that is a 5-point swing between Martin leading and Musquin in third.
Now watch how difficult he's going to make life on Marvin Musquin.
Yes.
So Musquin's got to know this. He's got to know, to be honest, if I was in Musquin's position, this is just me, I would get close, I would get frustrated, I'd be like, he just let him by. You got to build that anger up, because anger produces speed.
Okay.
And get up close, and when you get a chance, and you get next to him, hit him.
Straight up.
Move him out of the way, so that he loses 5 to 10 bike lengths, so you don't have to worry about him trying to, bonsai you in the next couple of corners. Put your head down and focus on the back end of that number 1, and you go after him. And if you get close to him, you do the exact same thing. You move him.
When Webb came back into this championship, we knew he would be there battling for race wins, and everyone was speculating how it would affect it with his teammate fighting for the title. And Webb last year, when he was battling Martin a lot, there was no love lost between the teammates. This time, huge help for his fellow Yamaha Star Racing Yamaha man. And I have to wonder, since Marvin has rubbed Webb the wrong way the last couple of weeks, if he doesn't take a little extra pleasure in helping his teammate beat Marvin. Georgia, what do you got down there?
Guys, I cannot believe this racing right now. This is so exciting. But Grant, you were just saying, hey, I would give him a hit if I was Marvin Musquin. But do you not think, partly through his mind, he's saying, right, I'm better off just sticking back here, getting third, than working on next weekend?
It depends. If you ask 10 riders, you might get 8 different opinions, but seeing as you're asking me, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as you got to make things happen right now. It's that point of the season, because guess what? The way they sit right now, it's basically like nothing happened at round 11. They would leave with Martin with a 2-point lead.
Unbelievable. You see the points at the top of the screen. Yep.
Exactly. So he didn't make any ground. So you start thinking, you got one race left, and he's battling to make a point. So for Marvin Musquin, to answer your question, Georgia, if it was me, I'm going after Webb first, and I'm going to move him and make him think about all next week that I'm here, to win. I'm not here to make friends, and I will hit you, and I'm not afraid of you. You got to put a little fear in the competitor's mind, but Marvin can't do that right now. He can't keep the pace, so
Yeah, he's losing some ground. And at the end of this day, you saw on the top of the screen earlier, it would be a 2-point lead for Martin. As you said, that's exactly the way it was when we came in. So the difference between Musquin passing Webb, that's 2 points. They would be tied if he can get Webb, but that is a huge if right now, because a lot of mistakes for Musquin right now, and the Yamaha boys are getting away from him. Let's see if the Red Bull KTM rider can rally in these final 10 minutes.
This is that pass. This is how it was set up. Watch Jeremy Martin. I mean, this is just an incredible... Gets the power to the ground, soaks it up, pulls the tear off. Marvin not able to quite get over that, goes a long way around, launches that to the base of it, but able to keep the bike. See these guys soaking the bike up, meaning using their body to push it back to the ground and get the wheels back on the ground, and then the power to the lead. Yeah, Cooper Webb said, "You're welcome, buddy. I'll take your first overall paycheck if you get that."
Well, these are just theories I'm throwing out there. I also have to wonder, Webb made it obvious enough to let everybody know, hey, I could have won. I just want to let everybody know I let him pass me. He didn't straight up get me.
Well, I know with teams they say, hey, just don't make it so obvious.
They usually want it to be right,
like, make it just seem like you ran wide or something. Webb's like, okay. No, I'm going to make sure everyone knows that I rolled over and gave this overall win away.
That race was mine. I would have won it. That's all right. And by the way, this is the craziest part. When you combine the motos, it's going to be very close as far as the points for tie in the day. That also is going to give the overall win, if it ends like this, to Martin. Only because in the last turn of the first moto, RJ Hampshire fell, and Martin inherited third, and that is going to be the difference maker. Martin looking to go 3-1. Musquin will go 1-3. They'll tie on points. The tiebreaker is the better second moto. I don't know if everyone at home can keep track of all this math and all these personalities and all these teams and everything that's happening. Suffice to say, if it ends like this, we're going into the finale next week in Indiana with just 2 points between Musquin and Martin, and anything can happen when the gap's that small.
But what would be really big or huge, I guess I should say, is if Musquin gets around Webb, they go to the final round, Martin and Musquin tied on points. It's basically a one-race shootout for a championship.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally putting all the marbles out there.
Yes.
When you're 2 points down, yeah, fair enough. Musquin couldn't go 1-2 or 2-1 next week if Martin did the same. He has to gain points. So it doesn't sound like much, and anything could happen next weekend. But when you go in tied, it's like everyone hit the reset button 11 rounds into a 12-round series and said, listen, we're going to have a two-man showdown.
Yes. 2
motos, 1 champion, 2 former champions. Doesn't matter how it works out.
And to make matters worse for Musquin, if he is 2 points down, as he would be right now, that means he's going to need a little help, someone to finish between he and Martin at one point, and he clearly is not going to get it from Cooper Webb. So he's going to have to hope someone else would get in between them next week, or he has to beat Martin in both motos, which swings me to another topic. Martin came from pretty far back and has left Musquin behind. So what is that mentally? I mean, Martin,
that doesn't help
he made
mentally.
A statement in this moto.
It does not help mentally, because Musquin's going to go back and look at the whole day and figure out, man, he came back to third in the first moto, and then second moto, I was right there, I had a chance, and I just didn't have the pace. And when a guy realized it in his head, he didn't quite have the speed, it wears you out.
All right, but it has been a dynamic championship, and we've seen a lot crazier things happen than guys just finishing first, second, third. These riders have both had their share of bad moments, but it's been all good for this guy, Ryan Dungey. High five from his dad, Troy. He's your 450 champ for the year. He'll have a race coming up at the top of the hour. On Sunday, August 23rd, the Verizon IndyCar Series is here on NBCSN. Only 2 races remain, and the fight for the championship is wide open. Indy from Poconos, Sunday, August 23rd on NBCSN. Coverage presented by MAV TV. Hey, you're checking out Tim Panago's Cave National Monument, not too far from us here at the Miller Motorsports Park. You can hike to 6,000 feet above sea level and enjoy exploring some of those giant caves, stalactites and stalagmites in there. And then, yeah, I
big
got the
words,
wow,
very
one
impressed.
sticks up and one sticks down.
There you
That's
go.
how it works. Yeah, and that has been the way this 250 class is
Yeah.
gone. Every time somebody has a moment up, they have an equal down, and that's the way it's going to end today potentially, as you're looking for a 1-3 and a 3-1 for our title contenders, Martin and Muscan. Georgia has an update in the 16, who's moved into 5th, Zach Osborne.
Yes, we have not seen Zach Osborne on the podium in a few weekends. Last weekend at Unadilla, it was a tough weekend for him. He said he just really struggled passing people. However, he is still staying down at the Eli Tomac Ranch in Durango, Colorado. John Tomac, his father, is here this weekend as well, helping him out, really trying to get him on that podium. He loves it there. He's been training hard there and spending a lot of time with the family.
Yeah, had podium at Redbud, halfway mark of the season, but the last couple of races, the Moto scores have not been so good, from 7, 7, 7, 11, 9, 15. So this 5th is a step in the right direction again for Osborne. Matt Bisceglia was 5th. Osborne got him, pushing him back to 6th. By the way, 4th place, Aaron Plessinger. So it's 3 Yamaha riders in the top 4 right now. And behind Bisceglia is Hampshire, who coulda, shoulda, woulda had. Here he is on the red number 80. The rider coming through here is Alex Fry, lap rider.
He was 50 feet away from the podium.
Had a podium in the bag.
So on paper, if he stays here, it's going to look, I think he got, was it 7th first moto? Yeah, he's going to go 7-7, so it's going to look like just an average day. But, man, he was knocking on the door for an overall podium. Alex Martin, older brother to Jeremy, and soon to be teammates with his little bro down at the Yamalu Star Racing factory Yamaha ride. Right now he's on that Rock River Racing team manager there, Christina, does a great job. Jesse Nelson, well, not much change for him, but that team is going to be the official 250cc factory KTM team next year. Even though they get factory help now, it's going to change a little bit, which just is another little feather in the cap for those guys. Teammate McElrath, another guy that's just always seems to be there or thereabouts. Look, we said that about a few guys this year. They're always lurking and so close, or they get one moto and you think, oh, could get the podium overall. But it's been so hard for these guys to put 2 solid motos on the same day.
Yeah, a lot of young talent in this class, and that's the whole thing, trying to figure out how to do it every week. Here's last week's race winner, Joey Savacci, the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Went 2-2 last week. That was huge for him, first pro win of his career. But bad starts today, including that first turn crash in the first moto. Georgia, give us an update on the 37.
So unfortunate for Joey Savacci there on that first turn crash, like you just said, Jason. I went to the pits and I spoke to Mitch Payton and his mechanic, and they didn't know the issue. They said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a back malfunction or what the problem was, but obviously he kind of got things together and was able to carry on.
Yeah, well, being down to the first turn, that doesn't help. He did come back for 5th, which was about as impressive a charge as Martin put in. You just didn't see it as much because Martin was a little bit further forward. And obviously we're tracking Martin because he's battling for the title. Savacci puts a lot of work down at Ricky Carmichael's farm in Tallahassee, Florida. Gave a lot of credit to Ricky and Ricky's mom, Jeannie, who is just a legend for how hard she works her riders, be it her son, who went on to be the greatest rider ever, or young charges like Savacci these days. Martin Davalos, good to see him back. This guy had not raced Lucas Oil Pro Motocross since 2013 and finally returned to racing with us 2 races ago at Washougal. Had broken legs and ankles, feet, major problems last year, and then Epstein-Barr and extreme fatigue prevented him from starting with us this year. So good to see Davalos right now running in 12th. He's on that Rockstar Husqvarna like Osborne is, who's in 5th. And a real interesting story behind him. This is Tomita, the Japanese rider. You see him coming through in a Honda here in just a moment, the red bike. There he is on the number 718, getting around a lap rider. Yeah, so he is, I believe, leading the points in the 250 class over in Japan. Rides for Honda there. They have a break in their series, so he's come over and raced the last couple of rounds with us. 14th in the first moto and 13th right now. That's a solid ride for the rider from Japan.
Yeah, that's a great ride. Leading the points in the Japanese series, but it just shows you the level of competition here in the United States. At the moment, 13th, which is a pretty respectable ride for him, which I'm sure he's not quite used to. It's nothing worse than being used to winning and then you come and then you're just one of the guys, you know, one of the mid-pack guys.
There's been for years, going back, and our old buddy Jim Hawley used to train a lot of these riders, of riders from Japan come over here to race the fast competition here. They learn that speed and they go back to Japan and they ride even better. So
well, it's the same thing that happens, you know, me being a native South African, you know, a lot of the stuff that we learned and brought back. Hey, there's our leader. We haven't talked about him that much. He's made this kind of uneventful for this late in the series. Has a little look over his shoulder, just making sure he sees Webb in second. So he's like, okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see, because I'm going to leave you the same way we showed up.
Hey, we talked about this before our previous race at Unadilla, and you were saying that at this point in the year, you're not going to make huge bike changes. You're not going to change your program. It's a mental battle between these two. What can you say about this guy's mental toughness? Crash in the first turn of first moto, come back for third. Get the start in the second moto, red flag, you have to re-rack it, you get a bad start. Easy opportunity to panic and get nervous. Put his head down, stayed calm. Unbelievable performance in the second moto.
I agree 100%, Jason. And last year, you know, we kept questioning, okay, great rider Glenn Helen, how can he hold this? What's the pressure? How's this? And now it's like, you know, we want to build a little hype on the television series about, you know, this great battle, but you can't question these things about his mental toughness, his physical toughness, his attitude, his determination, everything. You don't win championships on talent. You don't just win championships by running longer and harder than other people. You got to put everything together. And this guy, no matter what was thrown up, think about early in the season. We may not even be talking about how tight the points are. He had some. I remember at Hangtown, his start device button malfunctioned. They had to switch it right there, right before the race. A lot of guys would have been panicking and freaking out. He was cool, calm, and collected. Round 2, go to Glen Helen, mechanical issues. Bike won't start. I mean, I'll be honest, I would have started panicking because you start realizing my bike doesn't start. I am like really going to lose out a ton of points. And he just kept fighting, charging, working hard, coming back, making the most out of a bad situation. And that's the key to a champion. You win championships on your bad day. If you're a champion, you're going to win a bunch of races, but it's the days that it doesn't go your way, the day you go down the first turn, the day you have a mechanical. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with these issues? This guy is just really impressed me over the past 2 years. I'm a huge fan. I love his style. I love his approach. I love his mentality. It's just phenomenal.
But, despite this effort, as Jeremy Martin wins clutch performance at Utah, but the championship is still just 2 points going in our finale. It is far from over. He did what he had to do. He dug out this second moto. Didn't get the start after it was red flag when he was leading.
Thanks, brother.
Oh, big thanks to his teammate Cooper Webb, who made it easy on him and handed the lead to him. I'm not sure if Webb would have held him off. We'll never know. But Marvin Musquet's not going to be pumped on third, but he's still only 2 points down going into the finale. And the way this season has been dramatic for both riders, 2 points is definitely not safe.
Well, Hampshire's little tip over the first moto.
That's all difference.
If he didn't, we would be tied going to the last round. I mean, that would just be, you know, Cinderella story. But wow, what a performance from these guys. Unbelievable.
All right, so it's still going to be incredibly close next week in Indiana. You got to catch the coverage. But Jeremy Martin at least has a small 2-point lead heading into that finale. Georgia, let's talk to the winner.
Yes, I'm going to let Jeremy Martin just have a wipe down. It's obviously pretty hot out there. But Jeremy, you showed your incredible speed in that race. I'll come over here to you. You showed your incredible speed in that race. Your teammate, he actually did step to the side for you, so huge congratulations in that race.
Yeah, I'd like to give a big thanks to Coop. He let me by, and I really appreciate that. It's coming down to the wire here, and you know, it feels good to get that overall. And I just couldn't do it without the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe. Pedro, my race mechanic, Johnny O'Mara, he's helped me out so much, and Chad Schweitzer, my practice bike mechanic back home. We're ending here today on a high note and going into Indiana, and I'm looking forward to it. I rode good today in the second moto. I wish I would have lined up a little bit further outside on the gate in Moto 1.
Well, huge congratulations, Jeremy Martin there. He's barely out of breath. It's unbelievable, guys.
Thanks, Georgia.
Good point.
And he mentioned that gate pick. First moto, he picked the far inside gate. It did not work. That made his life miserable in that first race. Better start this time, and he comes back to regain the points that he lost to Musquin in the first moto, which sets up an amazing finale next week. We'll talk to Webb and Musquin after this. Back at Miller Motorsports Park, give you the Lucas Oil race recap and show you how this thing turned out. It was crazy. We had a start, and Jeremy Martin led, and there was a crash, so they red flag restarted it. Marvin Musquin took the lead second time around, and Cooper Webb leaped by him to take the lead in 17.
Yeah, Webb was on fire at the beginning of the race, and then it was Jeremy Martin's turn. This is huge for the points battle. You see, Musquin makes a little mistake, does not get all the way over that jump, and Jeremy Martin goes the long way around, takes that position. So this makes things interesting because now the points are basically tied, but Jeremy Martin is not done there. Cooper Webb knows it's his teammate, has a look over, makes it very easy on him, but more importantly, stays between him and Musquin. But Martin takes the win and the overall. The points coming in, Musquin 2 down, they lead. He's 2 down. See that right there? Martin says, hey Webb, thanks man for making my life easy.
There it is. Martin and Musquin tied for the points today, but the tiebreaker is the second moto. Let's send it back to Georgia Lindsay.
Yes, congratulations, Marvin Musquin with the second overall today, third in that moto. We're going into next weekend the same as this weekend with that 2-point difference in the lead. But do you have a strategy going into next weekend?
Oh, not really. We try our best, with the Red Bull KTM team, Mathilde, my wife, and Frankie, my mechanic. WP guys, suspension, everybody. I mean, we work so hard, so I try my best, but that second moto was tough. It was hot, it was really rough, and I struggled in those conditions. I mean, last year, it's no secret. 2 years ago, I struggled. Last year, it was tough. Jeremy went 1-1 last year. He was ripping. And this year, I mean, to leave Utah with the same point as Jeremy, it's to me, it's pretty good. I mean, considering the years before, obviously I'm doing better this year, but still. That track was really tough, and I knew it was going to be tough. We got a second start, and I started in first gear instead of second gear in that last start, and then obviously I got the whole shot, but those two Yamahas, they were really fast. So, I'm not going to lie, they were better than me on that second moto. So, 2 points back. That's going to be really interesting, and it's good for the fans. I mean, everybody is really excited and waiting for Indiana. So. We try our best. I can see there is a Cooper Webb still messing with me on the starting line before the moto, and kind of let him...
What did he do?
No, he's talking to me on the line like, hey, Marvin, I don't know. I mean, I don't listen really much. He's trying to mess with me, but that's the way it is. He's a teammate with Jeremy, and maybe he kind of let him pass, I think. Obviously, Jeremy was faster. He would have won anyway, but that's the way it is. I don't have teammates. But I try my best. Thank you, everybody.
Well, congratulations. Well done, Marvin Musquin. Real honesty from him there.
What he's saying is he does have a teammate or teammates, but no one to help him. And look at that. The way we came in, 2 points.
And by the way, Savatgy and Osborne, look at that little battle for third. There's probably some bonus money for the teams on the line for them, so they'll slug it out at our next race. Well, let's hear some more talk from Cooper Webb. He's down with Georgia.
Congratulations, Cooper Webb, third overall today. Now, Marvin just mentioned that on the start line, you may have been saying some things to him. Give us at home kind of an idea of what's been going on the start line.
Well, as you all know, it's a mental sport, so anytime you can get in their head, it's a game on for me. So seemed to, for him, the restart, I don't know if that was on TV or not, but me and Jeremy got really good starts, and then he was able to get the whole shot in the second one, so it made it tough on us. I got around him early and tried to do the best I can, went out there and rode my own race, and I knew Jeremy was coming, and he was fast. He was fast here last year. He went 1-1, so I can't complain after last weekend being a tough weekend to bounce back, go 2-2. I mean, a 2-2 won last weekend, so we're close. We're right where we need to be, and I'm pumped, but I couldn't do it without the man up above, my mom and dad, my mechanic, Eric Gass, my Prex mechanic, Trevor Carmichael, the whole Star Racing team. We did awesome today. 2, 3, or I don't know the overall, but I know the motos we did good, both all in the top 4. So I'm stoked, and you know, they're racing for a championship, and I'm the spoiler. So.
What about Team Orders going into Indiana next weekend? Obviously, we saw that you potentially may have let Jeremy Martin past you, but do you have any plans going into next weekend?
Oh, I stalled it over there and sucked, but hopefully I don't stall it again.
All right, congratulations, Cooper Webb, third overall there.
a rolling stall. Interesting point Muscan brought up, though. He was only 5th overall, 4-5 in the motos last year, so it's not his best track.